Kick off the summer Ceilidh season with KitchenFest, back for its 12th year. From June 27th to July 5th, all across Cape Breton Island, we invite you to join us for a celebration of Gaelic music, culture, and community. Enjoy concerts, Ceilidhs, pub nights, and square dances, all with Cape Breton's signature sound, energy, and spirit. Whether you're local or visiting, be part of the island's biggest kitchen party. For full schedule details, visit kitchenfest.ca.
Kavanagh. Smash in. I guess Faltroda Vulla, Ceilidh. Welcome everyone to our Wednesday night Ceilidh. Smisha Allan, Donwa. I'm Colin McDonald. I'm your host for tonight, and we have fantastic music ahead, and we'll be hearing some tunes and songs. And this is a Ceilidh. The original definition of a Ceilidh is just a visit or a gathering. So feel free to get to know your neighbor and explore a little bit. Barbie is at the back of the hall, and she's got all kinds of good things there. Some tea, coffee. Adding cart gown, oat cakes. We got some oat cakes back there as well. The best oat cakes in town. Maguche, possibly on the island, maybe even further than that. I'll say worldwide. And there's also some adult beverages back there for sale as well. The washrooms are also at the back of the hall, just out in the foyer and to your left. So without further ado, we're going to start things off with a Gaelic song. If you know the chorus, and I know some of you in the audience do, please sing along. This is a milling song, Charakin Heen. I would not desert my brown-haired maiden. You are Hari Haro Harakin Heen Mochranya gown. You are Hari Haro Kemagutis Mivi Sundach Agus Ko Mochranya crown. You are Hari Haro Harakin Heen Mochranya gown. You are Hari Haro sound of Huri Magil Mahilika Kurva Doyakan. You are Hari Haro Harakin Heen Mochranya gown. You are Hari Haro Sket the Hiner Crocklin Heger gown and Ceilidh Toya grown. You are Hari Haro Harakin Heen Mochranya gown. You are Hari Haro Harakin sa Mochranya gil walks on and pills upon a me. You are Hari Haro Harakin Heen Mochranya gown. You are Hari Haro Harakin sa Mochiat Fenacher Batik Velkis Furaki. You are Hari Haro Harakin Heen Mochranya gown. You are Hari Haro Mashitacher thou Girio Keel Nasurin Sheen. You are Hari Haro Harakin Heen Mochranya gown. You are Hari Haro Harakin Heen Mochranya gown. You are Hari Haro. Happily, thank you. And I'd like to say hello to everyone watching online. We have Michael Kavanagh on sound tonight, Ryan McDonald on the live stream. And I'd like to now welcome two of our guests here tonight. We have with us John Pellerin and Allan Dewar, and we're going to hear some tunes now.
I hate microphones. I just said to Allan, do you want to say anything? He said, no, you go right ahead. So, so we were introduced. I'm John Pellerin. This is Allan Dewar. I'm from a place on the mainland called Antigonish, about 2 hours from here. And Allan lives just outside of Antigonish in a place called the Ohio. My father was a fiddler, played for dances and weddings and all that sort of thing. And Allan's grandmother actually accompanied my father on the piano. And Allan's uncle, Junior Fraser, played guitar, so it's kind of full circle. So, anyways, that was a group of jigs that I started off with. Probably most of them are jigs that I've learned from the playing of a well-known Cape Breton fiddler by the name of Buddy McMaster. I'm going to start off this group of tunes with a slow air called Hector the Hero. It was composed by a Scottish composer by the name of J. Scott Skinner, and I'll follow that by March from Strathspeys and Reels. I play by ear, so some of the tunes I know the names of, and some of them I don't. And when you don't know the names, you usually say, well, that's a traditional tune. Anyways, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much. The last reel was High Road to Linton. I think Miss Weatherburn maybe before that. And what was the march? Lime Hill maybe? Sure. Yeah. Votes are in. We'll close this set off with another group of jigs. Thank you.
Let's hear it for John and Allan. Shekelma Avashin. That was good music, and I'd like to say Chagada Beitik. Can't be beat. Well, anish tashin dawa horse kudig gen na holani chi and nuas or son oren agal agus hashin dawagal bain etra agus shimaruta hunami. So next up, we're going to invite the Immersion students. There's a course happening. We're in our 4th week of the 4-week immersion, and we have students from all across the world here, actually, and doing a fantastic job. So we're going to invite anyone who's willing. If you do come up, you'll better your chances of getting an A+. But just a little incentive there. Just kidding. And would like to welcome as well our head instructor, Maddie Britton, who's been leading the charge here the last 4 weeks.
Step on that.
No, we don't want to step on a fiddle.
Oh, we lost
Especially that
half the audience. Do the
not
rest of
supposed
you
to
want
say
to come
that.
up here too? Not really. We just have a big crew of students, which is great.
I guess Atcha show. Yeah. We're going to sing 2 songs for you. They're Push to Peel, sometimes translated to mouth music, or tunes from the mouth. So you could dance or play these on the fiddle or pipes as well, or any instrument. So Bain Etara first, and then Shimarut the Hunami.
na putter out na moina.
Gleivas, my range, way to go. So the course is called Poki, the Immersion course, and it happens each year at this time. Next year it will start just at the end of April and then run for 4 weeks. And it's run by College na Gaelic, the Gaelic College, in partnership with Cape Breton University. And we also receive support from Gaelic Affairs as well, Immersion na Gaelic. And we get to offer it for credit as well with our connection with CBU. So approximately half of the students are receiving university credit, six credits in 4 weeks. So it's a lot all at once, but definitely worth it. And a great chance to be immersed in the language for a good length of time. Gleva, so Shinakachin. Next up, we are. I had mentioned that Michael Kavanagh is on sound tonight. I forgot to mention that we're going to be hearing some music from him, and we're going to invite him up right now. Let's hear it for Michael Kavanagh.
It lasts just long enough. I'll put it down here. It lasted just long enough for those other 2 songs, though. All right. Hello out there. Yes, well, I'm Michael Kavanagh. I'm just going to jump up and do a couple of songs for you or so. I'm going to do one here by a fella that unfortunately passed away there not very long ago. And he was a great songwriter, great singer, songwriter, entertainer, one of the funniest guys too, and just a very, very nice human being in general. Named Cyril McPhee from St. Peter's. This is one I do fairly often here, but it'd be nice to give this one a whirl for you. Called Nova Scotia to Me. Place here that I know, 'cause here I can sing, here I can dance, be who I want, be given the chance to love and be free, to love and be me. Nova Scotia to me. Along with the roses I know you'll find thorns, along with the rich there are poor. And no, it's not Hollywood, and no, it's not Rome, but it's the nearest place here that I know. 'Cause here I can sing, here I can dance, be who I want, be given the chance to love and be free, to love and be me. Nova Scotia to me. been many places I may go again, but the place where I'll be in the end is where I can sing, where I can dance, be who I want, be given the chance to love and be free, to love and be me. Nova Scotia to me, where I can sing, where I can dance, be who I want, be given the chance to love and be free, to love and be me. Nova Scotia to me. Environment's very nice. Very, very nice serial tune there for you. Let me think. Since I'm in a open tuning here, let me see. Maybe I'll try a classic here. Do my rendition of the Wild Mountain Tide. Oh, the summertime One time, boy.
One more caller or what?
You know, no big hook yet.
You don't have one.
Big faces.
Let's try. Song that my father wrote and recorded back in the 90s. My father's name is Tracy Kavanagh. He recorded this with a band called Greylock, and Brian Doyle was the guitar player for that band from Marguerite. Really great guitar player. He wrote the music for it, and my father wrote the lyrics. And then I recorded it myself in, I don't know, a few years back, and did a little bit of a different rendition, but still fairly similar to the original. So I'm gonna see if I remember it. It's called Over the Sea. Away. Their pencil is heavy from the weight of church and state. One more to see their colors or to hear the bagpipes play. I walked with them in silence and the mountain to the shore. Ships were waiting for them at the quay. I stopped a man from boarding and I said, "Hey, where are you going?" He turned and said, "Over the sea, over the sea, crashing the waves in the sickness and death, fighting for life with their last dying breath. Over the sea they would go, where they would end up, no one would know." And I couldn't stand it as I watched them stare at life ahead over the sea. The kids anticipating the adventure, the frolic on the docks, never really understanding why. While mother's eyes glare so coldly over the water, while father tries so hard to hide the tear he cries, I feel the fear as they round us up like cattle. Someone holds my hand, when I look I can't conceive. I see my wife and children standing there beside me. Oh no, I see that we're the ones that have to leave. Over the sea, crashing the waves in the sickness and death, fighting for life with their last dying breath. Over the sea they would go, More microphone stand didn't last.
No, just long enough.
Yeah, just long enough. It's muted anyway.
There you go.
That was beautiful. Let's hear it for Michael Kavanagh. And I was just telling him we don't have a hook, but if I had a pusher, I'd push him back on the stage. I don't have one of those either, so here we are. I guess sé mías den Gael how. It is Gaelic Nova Scotia month of May. And there's so many activities and events taking place over the month, and it's very appropriate to have In Course of Boki running at this time. We were working on a story today. This is a story about a gentleman named Hector Doink, and some of you, we have some fans. I would actually be related to Hector Doink on my mom's side, and he was a fantastic storyteller and character. He was known as a character. So we were working on one of the many Hector Doink stories today in Gaelic, and I'd like to share that with you. A while show. Echan Doink agus a bhreathir Neil Doink spríomh óir. So one day, Hector Doink and his brother Neil Doink were on the spree. That's usually how most of the stories start. I should also mention Doink comes from the Gaelic name Doincan, which is Dan or Danny, and Doincan was the name of Hector's father. So all of his kids were the Doinks in English. So Hector Doink and Neil Doink. So they were having some fun. I guess Churid Rampa gan Gutchagat Much Ferry in the Coirsney. So they decided that they were going to steal a pig from one of the neighbors. That's right, a pig. The Gutchet Avok, I guess, Churid Etra Sacharni. So they stole the pig and they put it in between them in the car. And this was going back a few years, so the car was just the bench seat. So you can picture Hector at the steering wheel, his brother, the passenger, and the pigs in the middle. I guess Churid Kudach, Spiakurin, I guess Kata Eravlich. And they disguised the pig. They put a hat, glasses, and it might have been sunglasses actually, and a coat on the pig. The Galwavet Peacebeck Shias Arad, I guess Chuniket na Mountie sa Chianas and Joey. So Mountie in Gaelic is Mountie. So they went a little piece down the road, and then they see the cops coming up behind them in Mounties. I guess Chudet Statora, and they stopped them. I guess Gainach a Hiat Mountie. No, Gainach the Mountie. So the Mountie asked, Ko Shivsha, who are you? I guess Hurst Echen, Smisha Echen, I guess Shom over Aher, Smisha Echen Doink, I guess Shom over Aher, Neil Doink. So you probably got that, but I'll translate it anyway. So Hector said, I'm Hector Doink, and this is my brother Neil Doink. And the Mountie then asked, Ko Fair Ahasavian. So who's the one in the middle? And Hector Doink said, oh, Shin Oink Doink. And that is the punchline. And there's many Hector Doink stories out there. Some of them you can tell on the stage, and some of them you can't. And they've actually done Hector Doink storytelling sessions in Inverness at the fire hall. And the first one, yeah, specific category, Hector Doink stories. And the first one they did, they weren't sure how many people they would get. So they put out, maybe 20, 30 chairs. And the hall was packed. They had to bring out every chair they had. And I think there was I can't remember the number, I shouldn't give it, but it was over 100, maybe 150 people there. Someone can correct me if they know. But so yeah, be on the lookout for Hector Doink stories. They're great. So anish hashin dal churfalche arash John agus Allan. We're going to welcome back to the stage John and Allan for some more tunes. How does that sound?
Allan and I are up to something, so he said, you talk for a second. I'm going to start off with a slow air called The Rosebud Allendale. And this was composed by J. Scott Skinner. And actually, a number of years ago, I attended the North Atlantic Fiddle Conference in Aberdeen, Scotland, with Shelley Campbell and Troy McGilvery. And we actually had the opportunity one day to go to the grave of J. Scott Skinner. And the graveyard was on Allendale Drive. So it's kind of unique to be able to visit his grave and play some of his tunes. And this was one of his tunes that Buddy McMaster played for years. And I'm going to play it probably not like Buddy, but anyways, I'll follow that by some traditional jigs. Gonna do one more group and then gonna change things up, but I'm not gonna tell you about that till after the tune. This is a group of tunes that I learned. As you know, I'm saying Buddy McMaster a lot tonight, but he was kind of an idol for me growing up, and I was able to hear a lot of his music through the dances at Glencoe Mills and concerts and other places as well. So anyways, this is a slow air. It'll go into a march and some stress bass and some reels. So I hope you enjoy. Allan, are you ready to come up? Okay. It's not like me to call. It's not like me to call the shots. It should be the other way around. Actually, I'm going to get Shelley to come up, play the fiddle, and I'm going to give a couple steps. Would you come up too? Yeah, you come on up. No, we can do the. Yeah. So Shelley Campbell is here, and she's going to play some fiddle, and I'm going to give you a few steps. I actually I step hands as well. You might want to wait on that. Until you have them after.
Let's hear it for John. Fantastic steps. And thank you so much, Shelley, for the tunes. That was Shelley Campbell. Well, it's time to hand out some thank yous, or not hand out, but to give some thank yous. We have Michael Kavanagh on sound. Thank you so much. And to all of our musicians, Allan and John, Michael for the songs, and in Corsaboki students for the songs as well. Thank you all very much. And thank you for coming tonight, and for everyone watching online. We do this every Wednesday at 7:30, and we're live now since a couple of weeks on site here in Mackenzie Hall at College in the Gaelic, the Gaelic College. So we have one more blast of tunes for you to close out the Ceilidh. We hope to see you again, and we'd like to invite our instructor in Corsaboki, Maddie Britton, up for some steps. She may either jump on at some point, and I'm telling everybody what to do. I don't like this job. Anyway, we're going to go for it and see what happens. Thanks, everyone.
March 1st and give her time.
Kick off the summer Ceilidh season with KitchenFest, back for its 12th year. From June 27th to July 5th, all across Cape Breton Island, we invite you to join us for a celebration of Gaelic music, culture, and community. Enjoy concerts, Ceilidhs, pub nights, and square dances, all with Cape Breton's signature sound, energy, and spirit. Whether you're local or visiting, be part of the island's biggest kitchen party. For full schedule details, visit kitchenfest.ca.